Hello, welcome to Do Realtors Need a Marketing Plan for 2023. My name is Tatiana Reza, and I'm a loan officer here at Collab Lending. So let's get started. Today, we're going to touch base on a few components: building a real estate business, marketing versus branding, 5 steps of the marketing plan, developing marketing systems, building and improving your personal branding. Why is this important for you? Did you know people following scheduled action, commitment, and accountability are 76% more likely to achieve their goals? Yep, that is why we are here, because we want to achieve our goals for 2023. We're going to talk about some key components for running an effective real estate business. The financing, right? Making sure you're running a profitable business. The operation sides, these are the processes that you are going to go through with your sellers and your buyers. These are taking all of your leads all the way to the closing table. The marketing, which is our main focus today, this is how you're going to generate those leads to feed the business. This all goes in full circle. The leads go into the generation, go into the operations close the sales, which then generates the revenue. That goes back into your marketing. So if I ask you, what's your number one job? What would you say? Your number one job, I hope everybody says, is prospecting. You should be prospecting 80% of the time. Another way to make sure you're running an effective business is having systems in place and building a team. You should be writing down everything you do on a day-to-day basis and add a job description of all the tasks that you do. That way, down the line, when you start bringing people in, you have a task that each person can do. Now, counting the money. What do I mean by this? It's not about how much money you're making, right? The real question you should be asking yourself is, how much money of that are you keeping? So you're going to have your checks and balances, what's working for you, what's not working for you. This is how you're going to run an effective business. Now let's talk a little bit about the marketing versus branding. If you need business today, you're going to focus on marketing. You're going to choose a target, and then you're going to have a call to action. For example, I'm going to run a seminar. So I'm going to create a Facebook ad. Going to set it up for January 23rd, 2023, right? First time home buyer seminar, register below. So what do I have? I have a target, first time home buyers, and immediately I'm going to follow it by an action. Another good one for you guys would be, what is your home worth, right? So who are you targeting, right? Homeowners. And then you're going to do click here or register here, call to action. Now with branding, you're going to be building a long-term connection. It's not necessarily an immediate action. Here's where your more loyal customers are going to come into play in your business. Now let's talk a little bit about the branding. Easiest promotional branding, right? We have signs, billboards, pens, merch, no call to action. But you do hope that when that person is either writing something or has a hat on, right, they're going to think of you to give them a call. Now, service branding. This is obviously you're going to be providing a service. So how are you going to stand out from other real estate agents, right? For example, here at Collab Lending, we have a weekly phone call to all our agents, both on the buyer side and the selling side. That way, everybody knows where we're at in the process. So with branding, the key component to take away from this is be consistent. That way, the people will connect. Yep, Tatiana does the calling every week. Cool. She got this. So now let's move on to the 5 steps of the marketing planning. Step number 1, you're going to look back at your review in 2022. Step number 2, you're going to set your goals for 2023, right? That's going to be your business plan. Step number 3, you're going to do a SWOT analysis, right? Your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and your threats. And then step number 4, you're going to be developing your strategies, your marketing strategies. Step number 5, the build and improve your personal branding. So let's get started. Here's your performance overview. Step number 1, You're going to take a look back at this year. You're going to focus on what are your earnings, how many buyers you closed, how many number of listings you sold, and you're going to add all those sales up. You're also going to do an average sales price and then an average commission. You're also going to track your business, right? Super important. You're going to have 2 columns, right? Total number of leads and then your total number of closed, right? Now, where are you getting your business? Is it current client referrals? Is it past client referrals? Personal family member, business partners, attorneys, homeowners insurance, all that jazz. Your step number 2, you're going to set your goals, right? You're going to put that all on your dashboard. You're going to track the business, right? You're going to do a weekly tracker. So for me, I'm going to put in, okay, this week, did I call my agents? These are the actions that you're going to do to hold yourself accountable. You're going to do a monthly tracker for your leads. We also recommend you to do a monthly pay log, monthly P&L. That's going to be easier down the road for when you have to file taxes. And then you can do a monthly personal budget. That'll keep you on track. So let's focus on this dashboard. What are you going to have? This is all your goals, your income goal, your savings goals. How many number of leads should you be having for each month? How many of number of closed deals would you like to have, right? How do we generate these leads? How do we hit our dashboard? We're going to talk about the SWOT analysis, right? You're going to write down at least 2 to 3 out of all these categories, right? You're going to put your strengths down. Are you an educator? Are you good with connecting people? Is your follow-up key on point, right? Eventually, people are going to buy homes. Are you going to continually call them and make sure that you're on top of mind? Now, your weaknesses, right? Maybe you don't have that great of organization skills. Maybe you need an admin to help you with your day-to-day tasks. Just as simple as writing down your calendar. At 10 o'clock, where should you be? At 11 o'clock, where should you be at? Other opportunities, let's say Mary down the road, right? She's going to retire soon and she has a certain market, right? She's geared to a certain market and maybe you want to go ahead and take over that market. What about construction, right? A builder is building homes and they need to showcase those homes. That would be a great opportunity for you. So you want to make sure that you take a look at all your opportunities that you have available. And then any threats, you always want to make sure you stay on top of this and tackle it head on, right? For example, low inventory, right? You want to make sure that number 1, your client is pre-qualified ahead of time. That way, since there's not a whole lot of houses out there, as soon as it does come on the market, that you're ready to go to put out an offer in. And then nobody wants to talk about this, but the rising rates, right? I promise you it's still a good time to purchase, right? If we're more focused on the monthly payment versus the rate, because eventually down the line, you can refinance later. Now, step number 4, we're going to talk about developing your marketing systems, right? You're going to identify your pillars of the business. You're going to outline what that process looks like. You're going to develop a plan and the checklist, implement it and tweak it if need be. And then you're going to try to automate it and turn it over to a team lead. And then the last thing, obviously, you want to make sure you track your results and your efforts. So we're going to start identifying your pillars, right? So a pillar can be your database, any top clients, business relationships that you have, again, attorneys, homeowners insurance, those will work for you. Other pillars that you can generate business from would be any home buyer seminars that you want to do, any open houses, you can host client appreciation events. These are all the pillars of your business. Super important to have a database. Just want to make sure I touch on that subject. And if you don't, you can always start with who are you going to invite if you get married? That's the simplest way to start your database. So now we're going to start outlining the process, right? What does that look like? So strategy planning of what you're going to do, and then the tactics is going to be the actions to implement that strategy. So for the pillar, I decided to use tools. I decided to use the tool is the CRM, right? Everybody should have some sort of database, whether it's a CRM or even just a Google spreadsheet or an Excel sheet. So I'm going to use my database as my tool. And then what am I going to do specifically with my database, right? So my tactic could possibly be I'm going to call them twice a year. Maybe call them during the summertime, or maybe call them right around the holidays to wish them happy holidays, right? Maybe you're going to do monthly postcards. What about weekly emails? And not even just maybe weekly emails, but maybe a weekly video. Video is hot right now. You want to make sure you're jumping on that bandwagon. And it doesn't have to be something huge, right? It just doesn't have to be fancy, just be real. You want to make sure you want to connect with people. You can always do birthday programs, appreciation parties, gift card drawings. And then last, which is also a great one, is creating a Facebook group so you can connect with other people. So now our plan is going to start to develop, right? We have our outline, which is our database. You're going to make sure you have an action. What are we going to do, right? We're going to call them twice a year. We're going to do a video. We're going to do a weekly email, right? And then you're going to want to make sure you put it down on the calendar, right? How many times a month are you going to be sending that postcard? How many times a week are you going to be sending that video, right? Make sure you're putting it on the calendar. And also do the checklist. Did I do this week? Did I do this month, right? You want to make sure you hold yourself accountable. And then you're going to start to implement, right? And then tweak it, right? You're just going to do it. Repeat the process until it works for you. Something is better than nothing. You're just going to want to keep it simple, but keep at it. And then we're going to start to automate the system, right? Can someone else take care of this action for you, right? Because again, your main goal is to be prospecting, right? Getting more business in. And then you're going to track your efforts, your results. Put it on the calendar, make that checklist, hold each other accountable, right? And go back to that plan as much as you can. Now for step number 5, you're going to be building and improving your personal branding. So set up social profiles, setting up your Google business listing, right? Making sure that's intact, that's free. Set up your website. If you don't have an email, start with that. Purchasing any branding items and then developing your USP. You're going to be finding a niche. Maybe you're going to want to focus on I'm a first-time home buyer expert. You're going to do a listing specialist, a divorce specialist, right? Making sure that you are standing out from other people. So questions for you here. Did you hit your goals for 2022? What did you do right in 22? What was the best thing you did in 22, right? Keep on doing it. What can you do to increase your production in the first quarter of 2023? These are the questions that you should be asking yourself. These will tell you, yes, you should start a 2023 planning, or maybe you just have to tweak the planning that you have for 2022. Okay, so we're going to try to get you on course here. If you don't get this done today, the question is, when are you going to do it, right? When are you going to take action? When are you going to start this planning, right? You want to make sure you're in that top 76%. Any questions? We can open this for question and answer. Let me know how I can help. Well, it looks like no questions, but feel free to reach out to me. My name is Tatiana. I'm a loan officer here at CoLab Lending. Hope this helps you out. Happy holidays.